Bryant. I'm a love and dating coach and an EFT tapping expert. And this week's tapping video is going to be on a topic that comes up really frequently in most of my sessions and among most of my clients, and that is the fear of rejection. See, we as human beings are naturally designed, naturally wired to avoid instances of rejection. And that goes all the way back to our biological evolution of, days when we wanted to be a part of the tribe, when not being a part of the group, being shunned by your tribe in any way, meant that you probably were not likely to survive. And it also meant that you would not be able to procreate and pass on your genetics, pass on your family line. And biologically, that is an incredibly driving force. And even though we aren't very much in the same situation these days, that fear of rejection still lingers in most of us. And for some of my clients, the fear of rejection is nearly debilitating. They will avoid it often at all costs, and it can bring up very strong emotions and very strong physical reactions. And so this tapping video is going to help you begin to dismantle, ease, and calm that fear of rejection, whether you are in a dating situation, whether you're thinking about making the first move when it comes to someone that you're interested in, or even if you're in a relationship already and you need to have a conversation or set some boundaries, or you have fallen into the trap of maybe editing yourself so that you don't risk being rejected by your partner or by the other party. You can use this tapping as often as you need to, as many times as you'd like, and then for any number of situations that you feel it fits. As always, taking full responsibility for yourself and your own well-being, you can begin by tapping on the side of your hand with me lightly with 2 or 3 fingers, and repeat the words that I say out loud. Even though I don't want to be rejected, and who would? Right here and right now, I'm okay. And I truly and deeply love and accept myself anyway. Even though part of me is afraid of rejection. I've always felt that way. And who wouldn't be afraid of rejection? Right here and right now, I'm okay. And I truly and deeply love and accept myself anyway. Even though there's this situation, and I'm afraid to do what I think I want to do because I don't want to be rejected. Being rejected feels awful. Even the thought of it. Right here and right now, I am okay. And I truly and deeply love and accept myself anyway. Moving to your eyebrow point. All this fear of rejection. I acknowledge that I'm afraid of being rejected. Of course I am. Who would want to be rejected? Who would choose rejection? I don't want to choose rejection. In fact, it feels much more comfortable to avoid it at all costs. I prefer to avoid rejection. I'm afraid of being rejected. Even thinking about it feels awful. Even thinking about rejection feels awful. I'm afraid of rejection. I acknowledge all parts of me that are afraid of rejection. All of this fear. All of this avoidance. All the times I didn't do what I wanted because I was afraid of rejection. I acknowledge all the times I didn't do what I wanted to do because of this fear of being rejected. I'm afraid of being rejected. I'm afraid of being rejected. All this fear of rejection. Of course I'm afraid of being rejected. It's natural. No one would choose that. All this fear of rejection. All this avoidance. Okay, moving now back to the side of your hand, even though I can think of examples where I've been rejected before and it didn't feel good. It made me feel awful. Right here and right now, I am still okay. And I truly and deeply love and accept myself anyway. Even though I've been rejected in the past, and it hurt, and it made me feel worthless and foolish and not good enough. Right here and right now, I am still okay. And I truly and deeply love and accept myself anyway. Even though I've been rejected in the past, and it was really hurtful. And I learned to avoid rejection in a lot of different ways. Right here and right now, I am still okay. And I truly and deeply love and accept myself anyway. Moving now to your eyebrow point again. I've been rejected in the past. I know what that feels like. I remember really clearly what it feels like to be rejected. I remember what it feels like to be not chosen. I remember how hurtful it was and how I felt so foolish and not good enough. I remember being hurt. I remember being surprised. I didn't plan on being rejected. It just happened. And it felt awful. And I can probably think of examples all the way back to when I was a little kid. And I learned to avoid those negative feelings. I learned it was better to avoid being hurt. I learned it was better to avoid being surprised by how foolish I felt. I learned that on some level, I'm not good enough, or that I don't fit the status quo, or that what I want is unacceptable in some way. I've been rejected before. I know how awful that feels. Of course I don't want to be rejected again. Of course I'm not looking for rejection. Maybe it's possible that all this avoiding rejection means that I'm betraying myself. What if I'm betraying myself by avoiding rejection? What if all this avoidance of rejection is actually keeping me from what's intended for me? What if avoiding rejection is preventing me from seeing what's truly mine? Preventing me from being my authentic self? What if I'm working so hard to avoid rejection that I'm not allowing myself to be in alignment? Of course I don't want rejection. Nobody does. But maybe it isn't always bad. I'm not ready to consider that yet, but it might be possible. Okay, moving back again to the side of your hand. Even though I have put a lot of time and a lot of energy into avoiding rejection. Of course I did. It feels terrible. It sucks. But right here and right now, I am still okay. And I truly and deeply love and accept myself anyway. Even though I've gotten really good at predicting what other people's feelings might be, so that they don't reject me, so that they aren't angry with me, because I want them to like me. And deep down inside, I just want to be chosen. Right here and right now, I am still okay. And I truly and deeply love and accept myself anyway. Even though avoiding rejection, even in little tiny ways, has become a part of who I am. And maybe it's something that I do every single day. Right here and right now, I'm still okay. And I choose to remember that I can learn a new way of being anytime that I want. And I'm open to seeing new ways of showing up in the world. Moving to your eyebrow point, all this fear of rejection. I'm afraid of rejection. Nobody likes rejection. It's not fun. It's not my first choice. But maybe avoiding it is worse. I wonder what it would be like to consider that avoiding rejection might be more harmful than experiencing it. After all, being rejected doesn't mean I'll die. Being rejected doesn't mean that I can't survive. Part of my body might feel that way. And I acknowledge that part of me for all the ways that it has served me. But the truth is I've experienced rejection in the past. And I'm still here right now. And I'm kind of okay. I've experienced rejection before. And I survived. And of course it's not pleasant all the time. But maybe I can be open to understanding rejection as a tool. What if rejection serves a purpose? Maybe it's possible that rejection serves a purpose. What if things that I interpret as rejection are ways that the universe is showing me what's really for me and what is not? Of course, I don't like rejection. In fact, I've become really good at changing myself, at hiding my feelings, at adjusting my behavior, and not doing the things that I always want to do, or saying the things that I always want to say, to avoid rejection. I just want to be chosen. I just want to be accepted. I just want to be liked. I want to be in. I want to be a part of the group. I want someone to choose me. I want someone to choose me fully and wholeheartedly. Deep down inside, I want to be chosen. But if I'm honest, all of those times that I edited myself, all of those times that I didn't allow myself to show up as who I truly am, all of those times that I acted or spoke out of alignment with what I want and the person that I'm becoming, I wasn't choosing myself. I wasn't choosing myself. Changing myself to avoid rejection. Changing myself to avoid negative feelings from other people. Altering who I am and what I want and how I feel to please other people. To avoid rejection means I'm not choosing myself. And how can I expect anyone to choose me for who I really am if I can't even choose me? How can I expect to be chosen when I have never chosen myself? Because I'm avoiding rejection. What if rejection isn't all that bad? Back to the side of your hand. Even though I've spent a long time avoiding rejection, and understandably, I choose to believe that I can learn a new way of showing up in the world. And I choose in this moment to choose myself, all of me. Even though I've worked really hard not to be rejected, because deep down inside, I just want to be chosen. I choose in this moment to choose myself, every part of myself, even the parts that some other people might reject. And even though rejection doesn't always feel good, and I have a lot of examples of when that's been the case, I choose in this moment to understand that rejection is a tool. Rejection is the universe, is my soul, is spirit, is God, refining my options and showing me very clearly what is for me and what is not for me. And that is pretty cool if I think of it like that. Back to your eyebrow point. I choose in this moment to see rejection in a new light. No matter how many times I've worked to avoid it, no matter how afraid I may feel of being rejected, I choose to understand that rejection is a tool. It isn't good and it isn't bad. It is a neutral tool of refinement. Rejection is the universe showing me with great clarity what is for me and what is not for me. And after all, the truth is I don't want the things that are not aligned with who I really am. I don't really want the things that aren't aligned with who I am. I don't want things that don't accept me. I don't want relationships where I can't be myself. I want to show up as myself. I want to be chosen. But I want to be chosen for who I am, not for what I pretend to be, not for what I've edited myself to be, not for what I've adjusted and changed to make other people happy or more comfortable. I choose in this moment to release my fear of rejection. I don't need it anymore. It's worked hard to keep me safe. But I am grateful for communication from the universe and from God about what is meant for me and what is not meant for me. I am grateful for insight and clarity, even in the form of potential rejection. I am grateful for all of the ways that the universe and God and Spirit communicates with me. I am grateful for clarity. I choose now to be grateful for the clarity that comes with rejection. I choose now to be grateful for the clarity that comes with rejection. I choose now to choose myself. In this moment, right now, I choose myself. I choose me. All of me. Even the parts of me that someone else might reject. Because the truth is, if I can't choose myself, if I can't accept myself, if I can't be intimate and vulnerable with myself, if I can't show up in authenticity, then I cannot expect others to choose the real me, because I haven't shown it to them. I want to be chosen for who I am. I want to be seen for who I am, and I choose to start with myself. I choose me. I'm grateful for this opportunity to choose myself. I am grateful for this clarity that I've received from the universe. I'm grateful for all the times that I felt rejection, for all the times that the universe was clearly moving me along a path, bringing me to this moment. And I'm grateful for all of the clarity that I will receive through rejection and through other tools. I choose to view rejection as refinement. And in this moment, I choose myself, my true, authentic self. Take a deep breath in through your nose, out through your mouth. And moving now to tap or press on your gamut point, which is the acupressure point right in this groove between the knuckle of your pinky and the knuckle of your ring finger. Just lightly pressing or tapping with 2 or 3 fingers. Repeat after me. There are parts of me that have been healed by this. And there are parts of me that have not yet been healed. The parts of me that have not yet are willing to learn from the parts that have. My mind, body, spirit, and energy system are accepting that information now. New neural pathways. The information transfer is complete. I am grateful. Thank you. Together, divine. Another deep breath in through your nose, out through your mouth. And remember, post-EFT tapping is a great time to spend a few moments jotting down any thoughts, any feelings, any memories that may have popped into your head or come to the surface while we were tapping together.